Hi, I'm Lulu. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm glad you're here. So, today I want to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you the story of how I got so gosh darn handy. I have not been handy my whole life. I have not been working in the garage and using power tools and fixing things and building things all my life. This is new, and I want to tell you the story of how I acquired these skills. So, about 10 years ago, I wanted to do some reconfiguring with my space downstairs in the basement of my home back in Massachusetts. So I asked around if anybody knew a good carpenter. So my brother in law referred me to this guy. His name is Ed. So I called Ed and I was like, this is what I want. I want this one big, huge room downstairs. I want to break it. I want two small rooms and I want a laundry room and I want a little half bath. So I hired him to do all this work. So I was working full time at the time, and I would just come home every day and see what he had worked on, and then he'd come back the next day, and then so he was working down there for like probably a good month, and everything came out great, just wonderful. So seeing him every day, I could just got to know him, and um, we just became kind of like friends, I guess. So I just knew going forward, if I needed anything else done in my house, I was probably going to give him a ring. And he does a lot of different things. So that's what happened. So as I was working on projects around the house, I would hire him to do some things that I couldn't do, which was most of it. um, but I started to watch him. I started to watch when he would work on things at my house. I would watch and I would start to ask questions, and I just got a little curious about it. I wanted to put up a fence in my yard because I had bought Sweet Pea, my little vintage trailer. I wanted it to be right around the side of the house. So I wanted to put a fence that would just give me privacy on that side of the yard. From the house to the trees, it was like four panels, four 8-foot panels of fencing. So I asked him if I could hire him to do the fencing. So when he came to do the fencing, I said, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to work with you because I'd like to learn what how fences go in. So he's like, sure. So we did that project together. It was really hard. It was really hard work, but I learned a lot about structure, building and structure, um, and stability of things, with a fence. Um, and so it was really great because I asked a lot of questions, and then he would say like he was putting the posts in. We cemented the posts in the top of the posts. He cut them like at a slant, and so he'd say like, "Why do you think I cut those at a slant?" And I was like, "Don't tell me, don't tell me. Let me think." And I would think, 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 and I'd be like, "For rain, for rain." He's like, "Yes," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So with the posts slanted at the top, the rain would drip off them instead of sitting on them. So so it was great. He was asking me questions, I was asking him questions, and it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. And he was like, "You're doing a really good job." So while we were working on that fence, my friend Chris called me. She's about maybe 20 minutes from me. She was like, you know that guy Ed that did some work for you. She goes, um, is he for hire to maybe do some things? She had just moved into a new condo, and she needed some odds and ends done, different projects. So I said, well, he's right here working on a project for me. I'll have him give you a call. So I asked him, do you want to do some work for my friend? He's like, sure. So they made arrangements for him to go up and check out everything that needed to be done and give her an estimate. So I said, let me come, I'll come with you if you want me to come with you, because it was my friend, right? I was like, so he's like, sure. So off we went up to Chris's house. And so he looked around at everything she needed done. She wanted some shelves built in the garage. She wanted some painting done in a bathroom. She wanted pictures hung. She wanted some flooring put down, all these miscellaneous projects. So on our way home from there, he said to me, how would you like to work with me up at Chris's? Give me a hand at her house with those projects. And I was like, yeah, I would love to. And he goes, and I'll pay you. And I was just like, no, 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 I don't want any money. I don't want any money from my friend. So I said, I'll just come and learn. I mean, I want to learn. So during that project, I learned how to put flooring down. I learned how to build shelves. I learned how to uh, we put up a shiplap wall. I learned shiplap, how to cut out outlets out of the shiplap, and um, yeah, I learned a lot of little things, and I was really paying attention. I learned about different kinds of screws, and I learned about why you use this screw instead of this screw, and because I was just like full of questions. So while we were working on that job, he gets a call for another job. This elderly woman in the area, she just had a bunch of work done on her house, and she just got like totally screwed. Somebody like totally screwed her. Took her money, did a shitty job, and did a half-ass job, didn't finish, gone. So she was like in the middle of a lawsuit with them, but she just wanted to get this work done. So Ed said to me, do you want to come and look at this job with me too? And I was just like, yeah. So I was working part time. I was working part time nights at the company that I worked at for 20 years, but I was working nights now. So I had my days free. So I was busy because I was working this, this, these 3 nights a week. And then I was also working during the day at this house. So we got the job with this woman, and it was like a 3 month job. We worked 3 days a week for like 3 months. So many things needed to be done: finishing work, ceiling work, flooring, um, baseboards, trims, doors, installing doors. So many things. When we were going to be taking that job, I said to him, how much you going to pay me for this job? Because he said, I'm paying you for this job. I said, well, of course. I didn't want to get paid for my friend's job, but I wanted to get paid for this. But I said, what do you think I'm worth as your assistant? So he said $30 an hour. And I was like, $30 an hour? You're going to pay me $30 an hour? Like, and I really don't really even know what I'm doing. And he's just like, yeah, you worth 30. You worth 30. I was like, this is really cool. So off we went, worked so hard, so hard at that job for about 3 months, and made some good money and learned so much. So then when we finished up that job, we got a job in the city replacing a kitchen makeover, total kitchen makeover. So we needed to go pull out all the cabinets, rip up all the flooring until we have one empty room, and then install cabinets, counters, flooring. I was like, I want to play this. I want to know how a kitchen gets uninstalled, and I want to know how a kitchen gets installed. So before we accepted the job, I said to him, you know something? I think this is after my few months on this job making 30 an hour. I said, I think for this job I'd like 40 an hour. And he was just like, all right. I said, I don't want to take 10 extra dollars out of your pay. Just charge this client 10 extra dollars an hour for the two of us. So I was just like, yeah, I'm worth 40. I know I'm worth 40. And so, yeah, so we worked on that kitchen, ripped out a kitchen. I never even knew how kitchen cabinets went in, but I learned by seeing how they come out and then installing them, what a process that was. Um, and we worked really hard at this condo. It was a really nice condo. Uh, put in all new cabinets, new flooring. Oh, at this point, I was putting the flooring in by myself. I didn't even need his help. When we ripped all these kitchen cabinets out, we were told to put them in the dumpster. And I said to Ed, not on my watch are those things going in the dumpster. They're all good. I'm taking them all home. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'm either going to use them or I'm going to find somebody to give them to. I'll put them on Facebook Marketplace for free. Somebody can have, they were like 14 cabinets and they were in good shape. So took them all home. And those kitchen cabinets in my little kitchenette back home, that's where those cabinets came from. Also in my laundry room, I put some of those cabinets in. And then also in my son's room, I made him a little kitchenette. So we have like 3 areas with these kitchen cabinets that were all going to go in the trash. And by the time I got home with these cabinets, after we did the whole kitchen makeover, I learned how to install kitchen cabinets. I installed all those cabinets myself in my house. Every single one of them I did myself. Oh, and I learned ceramic tiling too at that job because we did a backsplash of ceramic tile. So I learned that on that job. Right towards the end of that job, we were waiting on the countertop from Lowe's so that we could get the plumber in to do the sink. And then we were going to do the backsplash. And that's basically all we had left. And that's when the whole world shut down. The whole world shut down. And I was calling Lowe's and I'm like, you've got to come with the countertop because this woman has no running water in her kitchen. So fortunately they were still coming out and doing those jobs. So they came, delivered and installed the countertop. Then the plumber came to put the sink in, the garbage disposal, and then we did the ceramic tiling. So now nobody was hiring anybody, nobody was doing anything because the world was shut down. So we're like, and Ed was like, my back needs a break anyway. His back was killing him. So since then, we had a few jobs. We did a retaining wall. I don't think I ever worked that hard in my life. I worked so hard on that job. Oh, God. A retaining wall. I'm like lugging bricks and everything. It was hard. Oh, and then an old coworker of mine, she wanted fencing put up, and we did fencing in her yard, except mine was only 4 panels wide. Hers was 27. 27 panels we installed. That was a lot of work. So we did do a lot of projects together. He has since retired. I think he's about 5 years older than me. So yeah, he was all set. So we really haven't worked together since. But we're in touch. We're friends. And that is how I acquired the skills that I have. I also hired him to work in my minivan. A lot of that carpentry in my minivan was done by him, and I learned watching all that be done too. So the best thing I did was hire somebody to do work for me and watch them and just stay with them while they're doing it and watch what they're doing, ask questions, and learn. And I learned so much where I feel like today I can build things, fix things. I can figure things out. I can just figure things out. He taught me how to figure things out. You know, I remember I got a new dryer. This was about 3 years ago. And the buzzer on it, like when it was done and it buzzed, it was so loud. It was so loud that it was so obnoxious. And I knew there was no way to lower the volume. So I Googled it and I said, how do I turn the buzzer off on my dryer? So I got this detailed instructions. You take the back of it off, you find the motherboard, you go to the motherboard and you look down at this row of little wire dot things, the little dot things on those little computer boards. Go to the one like 5 in, and you'll see the letter K or whatever it is, and then right there, snip it. So I thought, oh, you're really gonna take a chance? If you snip the wrong wire, you're screwed. So I was just like, nope, I'm doing it. So I opened the back, I found the wire, I snipped it, dryer works, no buzzer. And then another thing I did was one of my burners on my ceramic top electric stove stopped working, I just Googled it and I ordered the part and the part came. I took the back of the stove off and I found the back of the knob, like where the knob is, where you turn the out, where you turn the burner on and off. I just this thing, I forget what it was called. I forget what the part was called, but I just needed to hook the 4 wires off of that part, hook the 4 wires onto this part. No, I've never done any electrical work. I just followed a YouTube video. And guess what? I didn't have to get a new stove. So I think working with Ed gave me the confidence. That's what it is. It gave me confidence to fix my own stove or to fix my own dryer. It gave me confidence to even consider that I could do things like that. And I love um, not being at the mercy of everybody when I need something done. I can figure it out. I can pretty much figure it out. Um, and That's why I helped my friend with the van build because, I'm not an experienced builder, but I have confidence that I could build that van out for her. I could help her renovate that van. And I can custom make something because I understand the concepts, because I watched, I looked, I listened, I asked questions, and I would stand back and take pride in the work that we did. I can remember there was a couple of times he wanted to let something go, like, oh, that's good enough. And I was just like, something? It's not good enough. We gotta take that corner apart and do it over. And he's just like, yeah, you son of a bitch. And I'm just like, I'm not putting my name on that corner. I'm gonna go tell her that you decided to put that corner like that, not me. So he's like, "Arr," and he did it all over. I just, just really, just so gratifying, just very gratifying to watch that elderly woman just smile with gratitude as all these things were getting done for her, and she felt really cared for, and she wasn't getting screwed by us. In fact, every day her and I had lunch together. She loved when it was lunchtime because she knew that Lulu was going to get out her big Tupperware with her big ass salad, and I was going to sit with her in her living room, and I was going to talk with her, and we were going to share that half hour, and then it was back to work, and it was just a lovely experience. And it's never too late to learn. I was in my late 50s, early 60s when I even began this whole I can do it. I can do it. I have confidence. I'm going to learn. I'm going to watch. It wasn't until that time of my life. Um, and it's really paid for itself because I can handle my own stuff. You know, I can't do everything. I don't do electrical. I don't do plumbing. I've had opportunities to learn plumbing, but I don't find it interesting. I don't want to learn it. Um, I like the carpentry and the remodeling, and perhaps one day I'll learn plumbing or electric, but it's not on the list really. But anyway, I hope you found this video helpful, and perhaps it's not too late for you to learn either. So bye for now.